Hi, and welcome to this State of Search Tools Week presentation demo. Today we are looking at Searchmetrics, who will showcase their product in honor of Tools Week. Find more about Tools Week on stateofsearch.com/tools. Now for Searchmetrics, it's its founder Marcus Tober who will be presenting the demo. After the demo, you can listen to the Q&A with Marcus. Over to Marcus Tober.
Hi, good morning everybody. So I have to say good morning because it's morning for me. I'm sitting in California in a very nice apartment, and I'm happy to present the Searchmetrics suite to all of you. And as Bas mentioned, you can ask me anything about the software and maybe also about the weather in California after my presentation. So we can start with a thing that was mentioned by Dave Naylor and Martin McDonald some weeks ago. It was the Interflower gate, I would say. So everybody of you, I guess everybody of you read that Interflower had some kind of issue. And one of the most important things about Searchmetrics and Searchmetrics suite is that we built up an index of a lot of keywords, and out of these keywords we can calculate also with the historical overview what is the performance of the website. So for the UK index, for example, we take about 1 million keywords every week, and out of these keywords we can calculate the performance. And if you start using the Searchmetrics suite, you see just on the research part, just an input field, like in Google, like in the search engine. You don't have to decide for a country or for a language and all that stuff. You only put the domain into it, like Interflower UK here in that example. If you take a look at the first numbers, you see numbers that we call visibility numbers, SEO visibility and paid visibility. This visibility is calculated out of all the keywords that we know, and because keywords that are more relevant have a higher search volume, and they have more important for your business. And if you take a look at the visibility here, and also in the historical visibility chart here for Interflower, you can see the big drop that happened 3 weeks ago. You see that they dropped from visibility of 22,000 down to 1,000. That means they nearly lost the whole visibility, and that really means they have no traffic anymore. And as Dave and Martin mentioned in their blog, they also weren't found for their own brand name, and that's pretty sad. But what you also can see here in the chart is that they recovered 50% of their performance or the visibility that they had before, and this is pretty interesting. And this is how you have to use our visibility numbers. You can check not just your site, you can check every site that you want for, and I can show you that for 18 countries that we have in the database. You can do the same for Australia, you can do the same for the USA, also for a lot of countries that have a very good economy, like Japan or Canada and Brazil and other countries. This is important to know. And this is also an important part to understand. Searchmetrics suite consists of two parts. The first part, this is what I show you now, is the research part, and the second one is the project part. So project means you can create your own visibility for your keyword set. That could make sense, especially if you have a big business like in Amazon, for example, or like in eBay. If you want to take a look at specific markets and you want to see the competition and the performance, then you have to create your own keyword universe. So this is for Interflower. And we can also take a deeper look at what happened on February 21st. So if we click on more SEO data, we can go deeper into the research data, and you can always go back in history. And what we can do is, and you see the navigation is very easy and very seamless. You see the main part of the navigation here is for your SEO and PPC and universal search analysis. Then you have some keyword research. Then you have link research, and you also have some social research tools. But let me show you first the winner and user keywords for the February 21st. So let's click on losers, and then I can go back just by using the calendar here, and then we will see all the keywords that lost rankings on that specific date. And remember, we have a weekly update schedule. It could also happen that they lost the keywords a day or 2 days before that date where we updated the database. But this doesn't matter. Important is that we can give you a trend, what happened to a site, and especially if you change something on your site, if you change your templates, for example, if you improve your templates, or if you change your internal linking structure, our research database is the most comprehensive method to prove what's happening to your site. You can always use your Google Analytics. This is always possible, but I will show you later. You can drill down within Searchmetrics. You can drill down everything down to a subdomain and also directory level. This is a pretty cool thing. So now here you see for interflower keywords like flowers, where they lost enough positions to don't have traffic anymore, or other main keywords like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, roses, flower, and many big keywords, and obviously that they had a penalty. Okay, let's go to another example. So let's go back to the main site, to the home page, and tomorrow in the morning, today in the morning, I saw a site which lost a lot of visibility, and I was wondering what is this for, what kind of site it is, and I always want to understand how other sites work, and sometimes I try to reverse engineer what is it for a site, and is it a value business that lost visibility? Maybe they have a penalty, or what's going on? And I just looked for this site, and what I see here, I saw it's a very new site. It's very new, and they increased the visibility in the US index to 500,000 SEO visibility points, which is very huge, much bigger than the interflower that I showed you with about 11,000 visibility, and now they are losing visibility. And I took a look at the site, and I saw that it's a spam site. It's a crap spam site, and what they do is they analyze a lot of millions of domains, and they show you some numbers around the domains. You know, that's really crap and really spam. And in our visibility index, you can see, okay, they increase in visibility, and this is still possible in Google, that you can spam Google, and then after some weeks, Google has some kind of threshold where they look how many sites are in the index, what's maybe the CTR and the bounce rate and all that stuff, and then they lose the visibility again, and then maybe they just drop out of the index. But this is pretty interesting, and this is only possible with our metrics. You can't use your own keyword set with it, because if you have your own keywords, you start looking at the performance only at the date where you start looking at the numbers. Okay, the next example, which is only to show you the power and the performance of the visibility. And I was also looking at an example what I didn't really understood. since 2 weeks, IMDb, the Internet Movie Database site, is losing visibility in Germany, and it's a pretty cool site. They have a good product. The mother site, so imdb.com, is very popular, one of the oldest sites in the internet, and the German site is losing a lot of visibility, and I was wondering about that. And then I took a look at the performance of the English site in the German index, with English content in the German index, and I saw, okay, Google maybe has a problem. Google can't really understand or filter out which site is more relevant for the German index. And as you can see here, the green line shows the performance of imdb.com, and for many weeks or months or years, imdb.com and de, they performed both well in the German index. And now Google is trying to look at only one domain, maybe one local domain, and you see here that the com domain is winning against the German domain. And this is interesting because in Germany, people expect German content, but I assume that the number of backlinks and the quality of imdb.com overall worldwide, they have a very high CTR, they have a low bounce rate, they have a very good product, and I assume that these numbers are over the numbers for the IMDb.de site in Germany. That maybe shows a little problem that Google has at the moment to rank local content in local areas. Okay, next and the last thing to take a look at the visibility. My friends at eBay.com. I really like eBay. It's a very good SEOs there, and they have a very technical approach. That's like our approach. And I analyzed eBay, and I saw this is some months ago. It was last year. They had a very huge drop, and I talked to them, and they also lost a lot of traffic. And I was wondering about what happened. And if you use the visibility, you can see the chart, and okay, you can look at keywords and can dig deeper, but it makes no sense for eBay, because for eBay we have, you can see here, nearly 2 million keywords that we know. It makes no sense to take a look at the keyword level. But what you can do is, you can go to directories, for example, and then you can take a look at the visibility spread by directory. And the current let's big site value again. Let's take eBay. The current visibility for eBay is driving to a lot of directories. But they have a lot of main directories where the traffic is going to, and let's wait for there it is. Then you see here they have a directory, it's SCH, then they have other directories, and then you see the spread going to the deeper levels of the directories. But let's go back. Let's go to October 21st. That was the all-time high for eBay.com. You see here, wow, that's awesome. They have for eBay.com with the SCH, could mean search, maybe. They have a very strong visibility, and you see the overall percentage in the visibility is 64%. And if you go back to the overview page, where you also have the chart for the performance of eBay.com, we can now, let's copy this before it's going. And we can now compare the performance of the whole domain to the performance of a specific directory. This is unique. This is unique. There's no tool out there that can give you the historical performance on every directory. And it doesn't matter. I can go deeper. I can take a subdirectory of the SCH directory. It doesn't matter. We have the data already in the database. And you see here, the overall growth of eBay.com was made by this special directory, and you see here that the huge drop, and that caused the overall drop of eBay.com. This is interesting. This is interesting because, and you can find that out by yourself, but in the SCH directory, they had some search results, and Google doesn't like search and search. That was not an eBay-related issue, and that's absolutely not a penalty. Also, sites like Target.com, also Walmart.com, also Amazon.com, they also had search directories where they have the searches from users, and all these sites lost visibility at the same date or a week before. This is interesting. So it seems that Google is really looking at these search and search things. Okay, that was the overview of our main important or most important numbers in the research part of Searchmetrics, and you can take this knowledge. You can take this knowledge to our project part, because we do the same in the project part of the software. Okay, you see here a drop-down menu. You see here in the drop-down menu, I can choose projects that I created, or I can just create a new project. If I click here, I just jump into the project part, and you see the drop-down menu changes to a search form. And from here, you can start your research. So you don't have to take long ways in the navigation. Just start your research from here. Or if you are in research, just go to a project. So now I changed into a project. And like in the research part, you see here the most important metrics for an overview. You see the SEO visibility again, but here with the addendum project, because it's your project-based SEO visibility. You can add your keywords, you can add competitors, you can make a comparison, and this is a pretty cool thing, because if you're, for example, if you're a small niche e-commerce website and your competitor is Amazon and eBay and so on, if you take the research numbers, eBay, Amazon, and all the others, they are always much bigger than you. But if you use the suite, the project part, and we have many happy customers, you can define your keyword universe. And let me show you how that works. If you create a project, or if you edit a project, you go into a wizard. In the wizard, you see different steps where you can change the settings of your project. Here, for example, I added for a rental car website in the US. I added a lot of keywords. I tagged these keywords, and I chose also some search engines. And here's another big USP of Searchmetrics. We have 123 countries available for tracking, for monitoring. You see here some main countries like USA and UK and so on. But if you scroll down, you also see countries like Czech Republic, where we have less than. Or if you scroll further, if you see here Korea, North Korea, South Korea, you have Naver. Or if you go to China, you have Baidu. Or Russia, for example, you have Yandex. This is pretty important, because if you have an international business, it's important to cover the main search engines in all the countries. And what you also have is we have local ratings. So especially if you have a business where you have local stores, like a McDonald's, for example. You have McDonald's everywhere, but if people are looking for just McDonald's in Berlin or in London or in New York, they have different rankings. And you can take a look at these local rankings if you choose a local ranking in the suite. Overall, this is available from Monday next week. We have more than 150 local rankings. This is pretty cool, because you have many countries then the option to have local rankings. Here you have the frequency for the update from 1 to 5 times a week. And then let's go to the web analytics integration. You see also possible integrations, for example, Untitled Chapter Tool Analytics. And I can show you that with our integration, you can also scrape your conversion data out of your analytics account and put them into the suite. This is very important for forecasting, for example, for finding out the value of keywords and for your optimization process. And if you click the drop-down menu, you see all the conversions that we created. So Matthias, my head of marketing, did a very good job. He created a lot of conversion data, but it's too much for me. And also very cool is if you have a conversion here and it's not very descriptive, you can just change it with an alias, and then you have in your charts you have different things. Okay. The next thing what I want to show you is, or let's go back. It's reporting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the report really saves you time, and that's why reports or dashboards are very important. So you, as an SEO, you have to focus on the most important things, and the most important things are taking a look at your sites, at competitors, and finding out how can you improve your site and all that stuff. Our software is very capable in terms of we call your site, we give you recommendations and all that. But if you have a dashboard where you can take a look every day at your numbers, that really saves you a lot of time. And if you hover these small little KPIs here or the chart, and you click this little plus, you see add to dashboard, or here I see add to dashboard. And this is possible on all these elements, also at the table. And if I add this to a dashboard, for example, then I get a dialog where I can choose the number of rows, for example, and all that stuff, and also the dashboard. I put this onto a dashboard and say add, and now this table here with 25 rows is going into a dashboard. And then let's open the dashboard. I clicked add, and if I edit the dashboard, I go into an report editor. In the report editor, I can choose all the elements that I put into the report, and I just recently added this ranking table. I see it here, it's for you as car rental project, and I can just take this element and drag it into the report. And you see here some elements that are in the report. I can move these elements. I can change the order, for example, of the elements. I can also enter layout elements like custom images or custom text, or also a page break. I can save this report. I can also save it as a new name, and I also can create templates. If I have a template, for example, for marketing purposes, I can use this template and assign this template to the project that I want. For example, I have this example with a custom logo here. I can say conform project data, then I choose the project, and in the project, for all these the project-related data, this will now change. You see it here. Now it's enterprise.com. And if I say this template has to assign to New York Times, for example, all the project-related data will be assigned to New York Times. So we see New York Times here, and I can say save as, and I have a new name for the report, number 2, and I'm done with the reporting. And this is pretty cool. And the dashboards, you can access the dashboards just via the footer bar here. He's still saving. And funny is, I'm in Palo Alto, the heart of the Silicon Valley, and I have a very slow internet connection. This is pretty sad. I expected to have 100 megabit or faster, but I have a very slow connection. So yeah, that's my funny story of the day. He's still saving, but we don't have to wait. Let's go to the now. Oh, I like it. There it is. Okay, this is the report. This is the custom image that I uploaded. This is the project SEO visibility keyword rankings that I added 25 keywords. This is the page break. You see this here with this little line here, and this is the report. You can subscribe to the report. You can send it to many other recipients, and you can also schedule it for daily reporting. And what also pretty cool is Searchmetrics really understood how to create a good workflow with your team, especially if you have a software. Let's go to use Calendar again, and then I'm nearly finished. I see that some participants left the webinar. Sorry, I don't want to bore you. If you click on site optimization, you see all the issues that we found for the site. And for US car rental, we've really found a lot of issues, like things like duplicate content, loading times, and many internal broken links. Let's go to one thing, and if I want to make my developers working for me now, I can see, okay, that's not really good. I can just click on this little plus here, and I say new task, and then I create a task for someone who's in my team. I'm the American Eagle guy here, and I can assign a task to someone. Let's say fix it. Deadline is, okay, you have to be done end of this month. It will be assigned to, let's say, the German privy user here. He will be notified via email. This is connected to this area here, and if he gets the email, he can just click on this email. He goes directly through to the page where the issue is. And I see here my task manager, my created task. Sorry, I see here the task that I created. Fix it must be just at the top. Here it is. I assigned the task to someone else. If you click on that, you can comment on that. You see also the due date, and so you can start working with task management. And you have two views. One view is all the tasks that I assigned to you. This is the view for the worker. And then you have the view my created task. This is the view for the manager, the one who assigns tasks to others. Okay, this was half an hour. We have much more stuff, but I promised us to make it short and to concentrate our focus only on 2 or 3 features, and that's why I'm available now for Q&A. And I hope that you enjoyed the webinar so far.
Thank you, Marcus. I enjoyed that very much, actually. And you said people were leaving. They weren't. They came back. So I think that was their internet connection. Anyway, I've got a couple questions myself. And as said, if there's any questions from the audience, do drop them in the control panel, and I will ask the questions to Marcus. The thing with Searchmetrics always is that you guys always come out with the most amazing numbers. And for example, you now showed IMDb and you showed eBay, and you mentioned Interflora, and everybody always goes to Searchmetrics when something's up. That's my feeling of how the industry actually responds to when something's up. Is that your experience as well?
Yeah, so the cool thing is, this is important for everybody in the webinar, we have some parts of the research for free. So you're right, Bas. So if really something happened, like a penalty or an update, we can provide these numbers really quick. And cool thing is we have 10,000 or nearly 100,000 registered users, and these users really can fast take a look at the numbers. And what I show on the screen now is you can also register for a free demo. You can also send me an email to marcus@searchmetrics.com. We can provide all the interested people with a free demo account to make this assessment like Interflora or eBay by themselves.
Cool. So that's great. We'll make sure to put that in the post who goes with the video as well. The question why I asked the question just now is that what we're doing in Toolsweek, of course, is looking at is this a tool which I can use? So we're trying to sit on the seat of those watching and those reading our site. Searchmetrics has the name of, okay, so we can quickly find information about other sites. But is that the biggest USP, or would you say that something else is the biggest USP? You mentioned the historical performance directory, which is unique. What else is unique?
So what really unique is that for Searchmetrics is that in every different part of the software, we own the data. So we have our own backlink crawler. We are not depending on others. We have our own social data, which is also a big USP, and no other company has the social visibility data. And also we have the ranking data. And I think this is the biggest USP, that Searchmetrics is completely independent from others. And if you need correlation data from, for example, or causation data, if you see, okay, link growth on a specific URL, the ranking on a URL, and maybe also social links on a URL, we are the only company who can provide the overall experience and all these different data channels. I think this is the biggest USP.
So the fact that you have it all, actually, the overview.
Right. Yeah, if you look at other products, they always have some areas in their software where they are depending on others.
Yeah, and you're not depending on what else.
And what's happening if the API gets more expensive, or if the vendor where I depending on is going bankrupt, or all that stuff, then I have a problem, and I want to provide the best experience for the users, and that's why we build all this stuff on our own. That really takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
We can also go to Dixon, for example, and say, hey, give me your link data, and he will be happy. But I think I can only deliver the best experience for the user if we own the data.
And to make clear, you completely rebuilt it not too long ago, did you?
Yes. Yeah.
We
built everything. And we also bought some technology to improve our speed and all of that, but everything is owned by us. That's right.
That is impressive. So we have a question from one person in the audience, Sarah Bradley, who is asking, how are the keyword trends measured? Is this measured using historical fresh data, or can you assess both?
Can you specify the question? Do you mean it according to the visibility, or to?
Let me unmute Sarah. Sarah, I'm going to unmute you now, if that's okay, and you can ask the question yourself to Marcus. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I was just wondering how the keyword trends feature. I noticed that the little red down arrows and little green up arrows. I was just wondering how that's measured, and sort of whether that's over the historical trends, or whether it's like sort of day by day, or how you work that out.
Do you mean in the suite? Do you mean here, what I show you now?
Yeah, like you were just looking at, yeah, here we go. Yeah, the keyword trend. So up 18, down 21.
This is based on your keyword set. Here for US car rental, I chose the whole set, and if I break it down, for example, to this to only to the brand Audi, then the trend you see here at 0 at the moment. It depends on this decision. If I go back, you see that it's going back to 21 and 18. So it's depending on your decision. And if you have
yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically all keywords, not specific.
If you need all keywords, then you go back to research, and then you go to the overview page, and then you can also show you a trend according to all the keywords that we know from you. But this is then based on our research database, and in the research database we also have keywords that are not really relevant for your business, maybe really useless keywords, but that's why you have the ability to create your own keyword universe, project wise, and also you have the ability to take a look at research. So we also have here winners and losers, and if you click on winners and losers for eBay, you have the same overview, but only on keywords that we have in the database.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Sarah.
You're welcome.
So we have another question in the from the chat, which is from Mike Davies. And his question is, won't you have any issues with Google when scraping data, like the issues that Raven Tools had?
Raven Tools decided to make this move back from rankings, not because of issues with the ranking data. The reason was that Google changed the terms of policy for Google AdWords, and in the policy they added a paragraph where they don't allow to resell the data that you scrape via the API. And this is a very big difference. There were a lot of rumors last year because also SEO was cut down the access to the AdWords API, but we are not depending on the AdWords API data. We buy data from different providers, and our search volume data is not Google search volume data. There are also some Google data in it, but we have more on average, and that's why we're not affected with the ranking data, because that wasn't the reason. And there was a very long blog post from Raven Tools where they described why they need the AdWords API access, because they want to move into the PPC space. And if Google is changing the TOS, the terms of services, they had to make a decision. And Ahrefs, this was a very strategic move, because Ahrefs was always mentioned as a backlink database, and the keywords that they had was that was only a lot of work to do, but not really an advantage or value for them. That's why they decided to get rid of that.
Okay.
So I think that was a strategic move.
Thank you. So as said, what we're trying to do is compare, or at least find out whether or not the tool is fitable for the audience. It could be a difficult question. If you look at the scope of all the other tools, when people are looking at what kind of tools, should they also be considering Searchmetrics? So what is the audience you're looking for? Or what should the audience look for you? What audience should look for you?
I think that the audience is very broad for Searchmetrics. So with our suite product, we target mid-size companies to large enterprise companies, and as well agencies, because we have all these user rights management and workflow optimization things and all that stuff. And also, and this is what I didn't mention, is we have a very scalable API, and we provide it for big companies like, I'm not allowed to say the name, but big, huge hosting companies. We provided their tools, and that's why we also cover the small and medium business market. So
Okay.
that doesn't mean we want to make everything. That's why a suite is for mid-size to large enterprise. But via the API, we can also deliver small businesses.
Okay. Sarah Bradley has another question, which is how often is the social data crawled and then updated?
The social data is crawled and updated daily, but that doesn't mean that we update the data daily for every domain. We have in the background, we have something that we call policy. It's our crawling policy for social. And you can imagine that some websites are more important than other sites. We don't make the decision which, but we have more than 100 million domains in the database where we have the domain name, and we can't crawl them every day, and that makes no sense. What we do daily is, if we find a new link, and we have multiple sources where we can find new content, we add these URLs daily on a daily basis, and then it doesn't matter if it's a small or big site. But for the update cycle, we here at Enterprise for the social visibility, we have this policy, and sites like Time or BBC Co UK, they have very high social engagement, so the users are very engaged. We update these sites more often, and if we have a small site with only 10 tweets and there's only one tweet that comes to the site every day or on a weekly basis, the policy is stretching, and then we update the site only once a month or maybe twice a month.
Okay, that makes sense. So that kind of is a small step to pricing. When you are a Searchmetrics customer, do you need to have a big wallet, or can you start off small as well?
This is also a big advantage. You can start with a small wallet. So the price for the SEO and SEM module for the research part here, it starts from 89 euros a month or $99 a month. This is very, very low compared to others. But what we try to do is we try to give you access to our research data for very low entry level. But then if you try to start working, if you need dashboards, if you need more users, if you need projects for your clients, then you have to upgrade. And the next upgrade step, where the suite starter starts, this is the starter suite. It's for 399 euros a month. And you see, this is also for a small wallet. And then it depends on the size of the company. You can imagine that a big enterprise company with many international subsidiaries and thousands of keywords and hundreds of employees or thousands of employees, they need a bigger wallet. But it makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So the pricing structure at Searchmetrics.
Okay. So going towards the end of this, where is Searchmetrics going? As said before, you already changed a lot of things over the past year or so, and you have like a full tool here. Where are you heading? What's next?
So everything depends on our vision and our mission. And I'm sure that the world in where we are living in is having so much information digital available that you as a business are stuck in that redundancy if you don't do anything. And that's why everything within the suite will be around making useful recommendations and giving you recommendations to improve your visibility. So if you take a look at Searchmetrics Suite now, it's very much focused on SEO. But that doesn't mean that we are an SEO tool. That's not true. With the integration of conversion data, with traffic data, with social and link data, we try to give you a very good overview about what's happening around your site on a URL basis, for example. And because we also crawl your site, we can give you very good recommendations to make improvements. So our vision is, in a world full of redundancy, we are the tool to deliver you the right recommendations to be successful. And if, let's say, if the graph search from Facebook will get really successful, if the like is the new page rank, we will implement much more features around social behavior and likes and all that stuff to give you the ability to be more visible. This is what we will do with Searchmetrics.
That sounds really good. Okay, thank you, Marcus Tober. I'm looking into the question tabs, and I think the audience has asked all the questions they want to ask. Finally, they can find you at searchmetrics.com, of course. You are in the US at the moment, so you're going to a conference, probably SMX.
Right. There's the SMX next week in San Jose. It's, from my perspective, a very good conference. Benny Sullivan is there, Chris Sherman, they are the organizers and the hosts, but very good people. And if you have time, yeah, I can recommend going to the SMX. I'm speaker as well about the Google Dance, the new Google Dance, what's happening with all these updates. And yeah, if you're there, I'm happy to meet you.
Very good. So is there one last thing you would like to say to those watching this video, why to go to Searchmetrics?
Yeah, because Searchmetrics is the only tool that can deliver the full experience that's needed to be successful. And we are not a bullshitter or feature fucking company. If you have requirements or criticism or feedback, we are very open and we are very keen to hear what the people are thinking.
Very good. I can vouch for that, actually.
And thank you as well, Bas. Thank you as well for making the webinar. And yeah.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. And this is the Searchmetrics webinar on the State of Search Tools Week. This video is part of the State of Search Tools Week. You can find more videos on stateofsearch.com/tools, demos and presentations of tools like Searchmetrics, link research tools, analytics SEO, Majestic SEO, and link decks.